Cool. Right, let's go. We're on. Good evening, everybody. It's Monday. It's 7 p.m. It's the 30th of March, 2026. And here we are again. It's the A&DBBL Monday Night Roundup. And we are already halfway through the league. My name is Scott, not that one. And I'm here tonight to share the Week 9 Blood Bowl action from the A&DBBL. Just the 4 matches for you tonight. But with me to prove that it's all about quality and not quantity, I am privileged and honored to be joined by, firstly, the coach who put the coward into tier 1 teams everywhere, the go-to person for all of your facial grooming tips, coach of the butchers, the magnificent Mr. Luke Baggett. Good evening, Luke. Welcome to Monday. How has your day been?
Hello, Scott. Good. Perpetually annoyed by daylight saving times and Big Farm, but otherwise fine.
It's Big Brother or it's the man. They're out to get us, Luke. Just remember that, and you're not in this alone. And good evening, Chad. Good evening, Justin. Good evening, Carl. Secondly, the TO of the upcoming Ipswich Classic, returning from a clandestine trip out west. It's the finest non-feathered duck himself, coach of the Bitey Ducks, Mr. Chris Coe. Good evening, Mr. Coe. How are you?
Do I want to be feathered? Is it better to be feathered or not feathered? I don't really know.
That's the philosophical topic that maybe we can add into the mix for chat to discuss tonight. To be feathered or not to be feathered, you decide. Now, you might notice that Mr. Tom Hovell is not with us again. And yes, there is an international incident occurring. Coincidence? We don't know. Let's move on. So welcome everybody, everyone in chat, everyone in Twitch land, whether you are an A&DBBL coach along for this madness, insanity roller coaster that we are all partaking in, or if you're just from the wider Blood Bowl collective, dipping your toe in our insanity to find out what it's all or all not about. Couple of reminders. First of all, Aardvarks and Dragons is our go-to place for Blood Bowl. Check it out. Secondly, yes, I have been sounding like an obsessed Milner for the past several weeks. It's red, it's the hat. If you want one, and there are black ones and white ones and grey ones, get yourself to store, speak to Mr. Phipps, and get yourself headgeared up, ready for the summer. A reminder of charity that despite all the insanity, we are doing this for a very good reason. We are doing it for the Trussell Food Bank this year. So whether you have got a good looking end zone, whether you are placing a bounty or just feeling magnificent with a donation in store or online, you can give all you can to help a fabulous cause. And on that note, Mr. Coe, would you like to give everybody an update? Where are we with our donations so far this season?
Yes, we always put a target of £500 on, but we are happy with that, whatever we raise. But we are currently at £360, so 72% of our target. So a big thank you to everyone who's donated. Anything, if you've donated money, if you've left food in the box in the shop to go to the food bank, whatever you've done, a big thank you from us.
Wise words, wise words. Thank you, Mr. Coe. Yep, good evening. Well done, everybody. Fantastic effort. Thank you, Carl, for calling that out. And Justin, if you want to be feathered or tar and feathered, if it raises some money, I'm more than happy to sponsor you however you want and whatever you want to do. So let's get ready then. Let's extol the virtues and the knowledge of our fine guests that we have for you tonight. So let's go then and look at the first match of the 4 that we have for your entertainment. We're into the Avengers group, and I'm not going to impose the cliched Tom Hovell patented assemble shout out from Mr. Coe or Mr. Baggett, though the feathers are looking magnificent. Chris, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to start off with Vampires versus Rats. Coach Atreides and the Amaranthine Sanguivores. Vampires against the Dreadwake Executioners. 2 teams really, Luke, coming into this matchup with a bit of a different run. The Dreadwake Executioners, a fantastic start to season 10 for JD. And Mr. Scott Phipps, Coach Atreides, really struggling with the Vampires and their bloodlust.
Yeah, I mean, I think JD's had a pretty good run so far, kind of unbeaten until this game, until I think this is a rematch. Yeah, it was. with last time Scott winning 3-1. So I think Scott will maybe us giving him Coach of the Week a few weeks ago has kind of turned him around. But it does seem like his vampires are skilling up and he's kind of getting the results we're a bit more expecting. Yeah, I keep losing my train of thought because I keep seeing Chris Feathers.
And I can fully appreciate and understand why with Chris and his feathers you are losing your train of thought. Let's have a quick look at some of the key points then. Fine weather to start this match. I spoke to Scott about this in store, and as he said over the week, he said he scored early to start with, the turn 3 touchdown from Natalia Romamel, who's really a few skills now starting to make a difference. Despite that, the Rats came ratting, storming back, really. Lots of completions to get more SP, scoring and equalising on turn 6 as well. So at that point, all looks good for the 2-1 for the Rats. However, as we go into the second half, despite one dead throw, which is always a bonus, as you can see there, all of a sudden, things started to swing the other way. And speaking to Scott, it really got to a point towards the end where, despite the Dice's best efforts, Scott sort of went hell for leather through a lot of one-up blocks. There was a bit of a super cage bundle strike mob going on, and Scott then managed to get the ball, popped it out, and despite the fears of bloodlust, which seemed to be following him everywhere, managed to get the ball, get out with a thrall as well, get it to the vampire runner, and suddenly it's a 2-1 win. So as you said, Luke, that's the double for the Vampires over the Skaven. And then, Chris, if we look at the Vampire team, despite the challenges that Scott has had starting this season with Vampires, himself and Mitch both finding frustration with bloodlust, that's not a bad setup now as a Vampire as we go into the second half of the league.
No, and I think the change to how you randomize skills as well, possibly kind of a big impact here. It's a lot less risky to randomize your skills, and I think for some teams, certain skill trees, there's not really a bad option. I mean, looking at the skills he has got here, I think maybe on that thrower, you maybe wouldn't have wanted some of those, but the runner with catch and sprint, a runner with block and catch, a blitzer with steady footing, and a thrower with block, they're all pretty solid random choices there. So it'll be interesting kind of if this is a bit of a comeback from Scott after quite a tricky start, whether he will kind of regret some of those randoms if he sort of gets further into the season, but they're looking pretty good.
They are indeed. It was a revenge, really, rather than a double-header win against the Rats. Apologies, JD. 2 wins on the trot now, as Mr. Phipps looking in a good position. Block, yes, on the one thrower, and then wrestle on the other thrower gives you that sort of thrower stroke faux blitzer piece as well. So looking very good for the Vampires. We then take a quick look at the Skaven. Luke, what's your assessment of these Rats? Nothing on the Roger to date, but if we look at the Gutter Runner as well, leap, sidestep, and sure feet, that's the sort of rat you want to get you out of any pickle and always cause a scoring threat.
Yeah, and I think it's not the only one. Like, that is skilling up pretty well. But the kind of mighty blow dauntless blitzer is quite fun. Throwing in a few randoms there, but he's kind of landed pretty well on his randoms. Most of them looking like a kind of formidable team forming, and his results are showing it. Kind of a few early wins to start with, and just now this one loss setting him back slightly, but I think he's got a good season ahead of him.
I couldn't agree more. I think I can just see the words block appearing against this rat ogre over the course of the next few games as well. And I always love that combination of Acura and Cannoneer. So that's an absolutely wonderful skill to have, especially when you've got 2 up and pass on your thrower as well. So despite that first loss of the season, we'll come on to look at the groups. Still, both coaches in a very good position as we go on to the second half of the league season. Moving away from Avengers, going on to the Horde group as well. That classic matchup here, short against pointy ears, the Dwarfs versus the Elven Union. Andy against Graham, 2 undefeated coaches. Looking at that, 6 casualties for the Dwarf. Chris really showing this was all about that punching, and this was really about a bash game for the Dwarfs. And Andy really showing how to do a classic Dwarf 2-1 grind.
Yeah, I think I said before that it was nice to see Graham have a season where he kept players on the pitch and got some results. And I wonder whether that kind of balanced out in this game. He didn't really have many left by the end of it, which you can tell by the dwarf fouling, purely because of the numbers he had. He was able to do it. So a tough one for Graham. I think actually when you kind of, yeah, Andy's played really well. He's done what he's needed to do. He's removed elves, and when you take into account how few elves Graham had left, I think 2-1 and putting up a fight is not bad. So and a lot of those kind of injuries on his side. He's got a lineman missing next game, but all his key positionals are still there. So I think compared to other seasons and other games where Graham has been annihilated, as far as a beating up goes, he's got off quite lightly with this one, I think.
He has indeed. We're going to come on to talk about Graham's team and actually have a look at that in a bit more detail after his second appearance. So he's monopolising the time tonight, but justifiably so as well. Let's have a quick look at the Dwarves. 17 SP, Luke. That's starting to get very filthy, really, isn't it? In the most positive way possible.
Yeah, definitely. It's I think he's randoming where he can on the lineman and kind of getting pretty good results. And then his chosen skills are, it's guard, it's mighty blow. He's kind of bringing back the Dwarves to, I suppose, closer to what they were out of the box, but with just swapping guard to the blitzers rather than the linemen now, because they lost that primary strength. But yeah, looking like a tough team, and we all know how good a coach Andy is as well.
Mighty blow on the Troll Slayer, tackle which is always so lethal against edge teams as well. One strip ball dwarf runner out. At least the elves got some sort of vengeance for the day as well. Interestingly as well, he's randomized the Taunt skill as well. Open to both of you. Chris, we'll start with you. What's your thoughts so far on this new skill in Season 3?
I think a team like Dwarfs, where you're high armor, and you're maybe trying to control the field as much as possible, being able to bring players with you and kind of take that element of freedom away from them is pretty solid. So so I think it's for a team like Dwarfs, I think it's very good. I don't know whether it's a skill that I would want. If whether I would take that skill as a Lizard coach based on the way I play, but I would be interested to hear from Andy at some point whether it's working for him.
It is well. And Luke, from your side, what's your early thought on the Taunt skill?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet because both the big uns have it to start with. So like I've kind of had opportunities to use it, but it's pretty rare when it's good in when you want people to stay in contact, obviously, but there's quite a lot of the time where that benefits the opponent as well, kind of tagging. And if they're getting a push or a knockdown, I suppose that's the one benefit. You can use it even if you get knocked down, you can kind of pull them down. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still undecided. I think ask me again at the end of the league.
We will definitely ask you later as we go through the season. Shout out to Justin. Good evening, Justin. Charity pledge, £5 is Scott says SPP rather than the abbreviated version that I have been saying for the rest of the roundup. For £5 for charity, I will do my absolute best to make sure I use the full acronym SPP and not that abbreviated form that I have been slipping into as well. I think it's just the excitement of seeing Chris in feathers, and yeah, it's what happens. But thank you, Justin. So a good win for the Dwarfs against their Elven counterparts, and we'll come on to see Graham's second game of the week very shortly. Going then on talking about feathers and the man himself, Mr. Justin Smith. This was the rematch against Mr. Tom Hovell. So a smile and a feather, Imperial Nobility against the Necromantic Horror, the Black Shuck Ballers. What can you say? Straight to you, Chris. Tom pulled off an incredible win in the first match, something which none of us were really expecting. And again, he played very, very well. There was some debate about what he was going to take in terms of his incentives, in terms of his petty cash inducements. Was he going to go with a reroll? Was he going to go with a bribe? He actually went in the end with the full team mascot and the extra team training as well. And it looks like those extra rerolls were needed, and a really good, solid draw from Mr. Hovell, and a good result, another point in the bag, and 2 points away from the Necro for Justin.
Yeah, I think he messaged us a few times as the game was going on, saying how early he needed to use some of those extra rerolls. So yeah, not and I think my game against him, he chose the star player route rather than the reroll route, and I think in that game, I think he regretted that choice. I think he would have rather have had the rerolls. So I think there was a bit of a kind of lesson learned there as well. I think Tom is more surprised than anyone to have taken 4 points off Justin this season, to be honest, because I know that he's not had the best results against Justin, and Justin looked like he was kind of storming away with our group a little bit, and I still think he will top it, because he's certainly good enough and built a good enough team. So a great result for Tom, keeps the group alive, and keeps him in the fight to kind of try and challenge me and Justin near the top.
It was indeed. Just dip into chat very quickly. Justin was said he used the apple on his first casualty to deny Tom a free lineman. And we're joined by the legend himself, Mr. Tom Feeks. Yes, Chris is auditioning for the Moulin Rouge tonight, Mr. Feeks, and you won't have to spend a penny. Yeah, we're trying our best to extract as much money from Justin for charity as we can. Let's have a look at the Imperial Nobilities. Luke, the Ogre is out, missing next teammate, taken out by the Necros, but still looking quite a formidable team there into the next few matches.
Yeah, I mean, it's still terrifying, isn't it? And that second blitzer getting close to a stat up as well. I would imagine Justin is saving for that now, with Blodge on it already. Yeah, I mean, it is a fearsome team for sure. I would like to see what his next plan is for the strength 4 blitzer. I know it's got no SPP at the moment, but what it kind of moves on to, I'd be curious to see what he's planning for that.
And with a strength 4 blitzer yourself, Luke, anything you'd recommend?
I don't know. I think the Orc and the Nobility one play probably quite differently. But yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm torn between building it as a ball carrier or just a hyper aggressive blitzer. I'm still not really sure yet.
Would you go for break tackle or tackle perhaps in there?
For his, yeah, potentially. He's already got dodge. He's got the
got pro as well. Do you want that reroll for the break tackle?
Yeah. I suppose, because he's got an innate dodge and then a potential second pro dodge if he needed it. Obviously not the same action, but for subsequent ones. But that would be diving on a cage with a 4-up with a reroll.
5-up with a reroll. So
Because strength 4.
plus strength 4 doesn't matter,
-2.
does it? It's the edge.
It,
That's fine.
no,
Justin is saying
12,
in chat he is happy with the ones missing. It gives me a lot of inducements ahead of my match with Chris. We will come on to talk about that as well. I see Chris nodding. No, Mr. Feeks, Chris has nothing else on apart from the feather and the jumper. Purely, that's all it is in the interest of nature as well. So good luck, Justin, against your match versus the Ducks. We will come on to that. And then Chris, Necro Horror. He's taking it one step at a time, one skill at a time. He likes his block, does our Tom, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's for Tom, he's been exceptionally patient. And he's been rewarded, I think, with that random block on the Ghoul Runner for the one random that he has done. I know he was very frustrated after my game with him that he was just everywhere. He was kind of 1 or 2 away from SPP. So it's good to see he's kind of got some now there. He's got even that Wraith he can give a skill to. So I wonder whether he's kind of waiting and wondering what to do with that one. So yeah, we've seen Tom in the past random heavily. He is playing a patient game. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what his team kind of looks like come the end of the group stage.
It is indeed. I'm expecting to see something like guard maybe on that Wraith, but we will see how Tom decides to do that. Justin Chris, it's in chat, so it's out there in the public domain. He said he's considering sure hands next. He lost the match after a 4-up dodge, 3-up dodge, rush, 4-up pass into the end zone. And as with all of these things, Justin, you fail on the pass with a reroll. Nuffle is ever so fickle. So from again what was a really back and forth, very tight match, our penultimate match of the evening, we're just moving back to elves. This time Graham coming out from that bashing from the dwarfs up against another bashy team, this time Leanne and the Tomb Kings, the Hamunaptra Hammers, fresh from their victory against the Tomb Kings of Mr. Handley last week, which we were extolling the virtues about as well. I actually saw both the start of this match in store, and a big shout out to both coaches. Fantastic spirit. Graham was absolutely going for it. Not just did he score early, but the ball was kicked deep into his end zone, and straight away his first action after a few blocks was to go in and try a pass to the halfway line to get it to one of his players. So in with Cannoneer, it was a 4-up pass, and he just happened to drop it, but it just fell next to him. Never mind. But the ethos for both coaches was fantastic. And Chris, the sign of a good and improving coach there, proven by Leanne, to back up that win with another positive result.
Yes, yeah. I didn't realize this game was happening until Leanne sent me the screenshot of the result, showing unbeaten in the last 2 games. So yeah, a really good result from her. Actually, I think if looking back to her game against Graham, the first game, there were kind of signs there that she was kind of 1 or 2 decisions away from getting a better result than she did in that 2-0 loss. So the signs were there that she'd be able to do something like this. So yeah, really pleased. Like, she's got that first win. She's now got her kind of, these are the first 2 times in the league that she's come away with points. She's come away with them, and her team is looking quite scary. And I said I'll go into strobe mode just to celebrate Leanne's victory. So well done, Leanne.
Okay, whilst you celebrate Leanne's victory, let's have a quick look at the team. And Luke, this is starting to look ominous. I don't think there are many coaches who want to play this. 2 mighty blows on the Tomb Guardians, 1 stand firm, so he's not going anywhere. Guard on the other Tomb Guardian as well. Love break tackle, dodging out Tomb Guardian on a 2-up. Absolutely wonderful. And block leader on that Tomb King's thrower as well, giving her the extra reroll. Pro as well. Missed that one on the lineman. This is really a good looking Tomb King team, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty gross, isn't it? I don't think anyone would want to have that team out in front of them and say, yeah, I'll take that one on. I think that's how can I mitigate as much damage as possible throughout the game. I am almost as impressed in Leanne, but more impressed that Graham managed to keep Acorn alive throughout that entire game.
He did. It was beautiful to see the little mighty squirrel make an appearance back on the elves. And let's have a look at those elves. Had a bit of a punching of the last two matches. So I think Graham's going to be quite relieved to get to where he is. He's still got some SP in the bank as well, 1 or 2 SP away from a second skill on key players, such as his Elf Blitzer as well. Is it just a question of, as an armor bust as well, and 1 elf lineman missing next game? Is there a risk now, Chris, of the attritional war, especially against such a lot of bash teams in the league, catching up with Graham? Or do you think he's got enough here in this team to get him through that?
No, I think he has kept kind of important players where they need to be. I think he's up against teams that he is more agile than for the rest of his group. No, I think he's done well. He's got a good treasury. I think this is one of the best teams he's probably managed to build, and I think he'll. Yeah, I can see him kind of keeping it that way. I do just want to correct myself. I said that he got off relatively lightly against Andy, but he did take obviously 2 journeymen into this game, so not as lightly as I expected, because I looked at this roster. So maybe then against Leanne's mighty blow pieces, maybe got off lightly against them to only be 1 unskilled lineman out. So yeah, it's looking good.
And Luke, you mentioned obviously it's good to see Graham taking the acorn. The one thing I would be looking for Graham is obviously maybe another, just to get that 3rd reroll, whether it's getting leader on one of your key skills, and for any sort of SPP development. Apologies, Justin. Yes, I wasn't paying attention, and I've cost 20p, which I shall wholeheartedly donate in due course as well. So, Luke, where would you look to develop this Elven Union team?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think, I mean, he's on 2 rerolls, which feels a little bit low for that team. But not having dodge on the kind of linemen and or not that, none at the moment. It sort of feels like you want that sort of extra chance to get away and protect your team a little bit. So maybe leader is the next skill to be taking, but otherwise they're looking pretty fearsome. Like Blodge with 7 SPP and sidestep, that's kind of gearing its way towards a skill up, I think. But I don't know what one would take. Another movement, get another movement 8-piece with Blodge and sidestep. Yeah, there's kind of plenty of ways you could build it, but I think it will just depend on how many touchdowns he can keep scoring against these bash teams.
He can indeed. He can indeed. So again, a good recovery from the challenge, shall we say, and the beating up by the Dwarves for Graham, and backing up that fantastic win with another fantastic result for Leanne. Well done, both coaches in the Horde group. Let's go have a quick look at the standings then, see how that mixes up all of the relevant divisions. Let's start as we just finished with the Horde group as well. Andy there, 4 from 4 at the top in terms of his wins with his Dwarves. Graham still in 2nd place. Leanne now moving up, same games played as James, but moving up into that 4th place. Long way to go there. 3 more games for the Elves, 4 more left for the Tomb Kings as well. Can Leanne do it? Can she catch that 2nd place, gents? Chris?
Leanne is currently the highest ranked Tomb King coach in the league. I think Tomb Kings generally are struggling a little bit. It does look like Andy and Graham have got the top 2 in this group kind of sewn up, but there's wildcard spaces to be had. And I think if Leanne can keep getting points, she can keep herself in that shout. So I'd love to see her go through on a wild card.
And Luke, you can't really, dismiss the cheeky boy himself, Mr. James Handley.
Yeah, that's it. But I think the interesting thing in this group is actually all of the bottom three could go up into second if they go unbeaten. It's unlikely, but it's definitely a possibility if they suddenly have a turn of luck. And yeah, it's that wild card spot where it's all to play for, I think.
It is indeed. So congratulations, Andy. And just a reminder to James, to Leanne, second place is not Graham's just yet. Everything to play for. Good luck in your next matches. Then we go to the Blaze coach. He's retained and returned to that first place position at the top. 6 games played, 13 points as well. Mr. Justin Smith and Luke, it couldn't make the return match with the Ducks any more exciting.
And Chris has only got 2 wins left in this season, so I mean, it's up to
one.
One.
I've only got one left.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, is that going to be the one?
Nah.
No. Yeah, no. But again, that group. I mean, Chris and Justin are looking pretty high up there, but so Tom's got 3 games. What's that? 3, 6, 9.
Yeah, you can get 14 points.
Yeah,
there.
they can get there. Yeah, but again, I think Tom's looking like a potential wild card spot there if he keeps up how he's been playing recently.
Yep. Justin said, did the maths earlier. Any coach can still win their respective divisions.
I was also doing the maths earlier to see whether me and Justin were safe yet or not.
We love it. We love it. Good luck to everybody. We did talk again last week, guys, if you want to recall that, with the current champ, Mr. Tom Hans, who we were talking about a number of about 12 to 13 points, possibly for one of those wild card places. So moving then from the Blades group down to the Avengers, JD, despite that defeat from Acredes, who's really closed it up, and this goes to prove that point we've just been talking about, 1 or 2 wins in succession, and then all of a sudden it really affects the standings for that group as well. So JD played 5, 10 points, still everything to play for. They're top of the league. Acredes now level on points with Will and the Rude Boys and Crumpers, and yet we still have Andy's Gobbos and Nick and his filthy Nurgle Inglorious Pustards left, and they're really going to have a directional impact on this group. Chris, what's your thoughts on the Avengers, as in the group, not the films?
I actually think that it's too early to write off even Andy in this one. I think, a win for those Goblins against the Orcs, for example, suddenly puts them on 7 points and in contention. And Andy is very good with stunty teams. So, he got to the final last year with Snotling. So yeah, I would say that JD's looking good at the top there, but don't count Andy out just yet.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing the next few matches and seeing how Will take those Orcs, who we know he's really developed into an absolute, I'm sure you'd agree, Luke, a wonderfully filthy, disgusting Orc team. And I mean that with the best sincerity in the world.
Yeah, definitely. And sorry, I'm just very much enjoying the puns happening in the Twitch chat as well. Yeah, I think Andy's definitely got a shot still. And I think anyone who thinks he hasn't is kidding themselves in that group.
Yeah, one way to go. Let's move down then to the Stars group. No games played this week in this group. So the man, the myth, the legend, good evening if you're in chat, Mr. John Reader, sitting there 15 points out of 15, closely followed behind by Simon. But as we said, lots more games for Jane, Phil, and love him. Love the Bretonians, waiting for those guys to come through as well. So if Leanne can do it, maybe Joe can follow suit. Maybe that is an inspirational message. Let's go down to the Destroyers. Similar position. No games played last week. Mr. Mark Humphreys sitting there, 9 points, 3 from 3 again. Jamie unbeaten, just the one match played so far. Long way to go in this group. And as we said, anyone in this group can win, even second, third place up for that wild cards. The Counts group. There you are, Mr. Baggett. Happy seeing that top of the league there.
Yeah, I want to get some more games in. I feel like I haven't played in a few weeks. Yeah, I know Dave's got one coming up soon. So yeah, I mean, again, this group is all the same as all the others. So close, I think, and very open for anyone still.
Excellent stuff. And he is in chat. It's as if I summon him by saying the man, the myth, the legend. Good evening, Mr. John Reader. Yeah. Any form of flattery, just send the check to the usual place, and then we will do our best. Moving on to
the Blood Bowl candy man. If you look in a mirror and say it 3 times,
John will appear, and there
John
we go.
will appear.
This is scientific proof in the actual real-time making, Chris. The last group, the Assassins. Tom at the top there with 14, followed by Denizens and Wood Elves just behind. Bretonians, Tom and Mitch and his Vampires, who's really been struggling with Bloodlust this season down the bottom. But again, as Justin points out, anyone can still win a group as well. Let's have a look then at what are the key games that we have coming up this week. So let's have a quick look. We've got a really good match this week on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, if I remember my diary dates correctly. 10 o'clock, so if anybody's got Stream or Twitch or is quiet in work for a couple of hours and wants to see that one on Tour Play, Tomb Kings versus OWA Light Dwarf. So let's see how Jamie goes in the second match there. The Prince of Ipswich, Mr. David Rue against Chris and the Bretonians, coming up then on Thursday. And actually, I'd forgotten about, sorry, I'm just going down, not across. Jamie doing a bit of a double header, one match Tuesday, and then following up against the eccentric wonderfulness of Mr. Scott Norman. So that'll be a really good one. Gobos versus OWA. Saturday for this week will take us to the Honeyman, a young Carl in chat against Mitch, and that's really going to have a big influence in terms of how the Assassins group goes as well. And there it is, Friday the 17th, 6 p.m. kickoff. Get it in your diaries. It will be live on Twitch. We can guarantee it as well. It will be the return. It will be the rematch, the Lizards against the Imperial Nobilities. Mr. Code, do you want to start any trash talking now, or are you going to save it for a little bit?
I think that Justin is an incredibly talented coach, and it will be an honor to fall at his hand.
And what about the game?
Screw it. 4-0.
To Imperial Nobility or Ducks?
We'll see how I feel.
Very good indeed. Okay, then. So that's it. That's your Monday night roundup. Short, sharp, and sweet. As we said at the start, sometimes it's all about quality and not about quantity. And if you would like to join us for a future Monday night roundup, whether you are new or a very experienced coach, or if, like certain people have volunteered, you want to come along in the form of an AI mascot, please let us know as well. Before we finish, then, just to finish off, Mr. Crisco, your game of the week?
Very good question. I'm going to give game of the week to Scott and JD because I think it was having had a tricky start to the season. It was good to see the Vampires come back.
Your coach of the week?
My coach of the week, I am going to give to let's give it to Leanne for continuing her run.
Very good. And any players that have taken your fancy for a cheeky bounty?
Yeah, JD's Rat Ogre. 2 deaths against the Vampires. He's saving up the SPP, God knows what for. It's not long before it's terrifying. Let's kill it before that happens.
Very good indeed. And Mr. Baggett's game of the week from you, sir?
I think I'll give it to Justin and Tom. I think seeing the messages come through from Tom was quite fun, and also how he was bouncing ideas off us about inducements and then completely ignored all of us, which is also quite fun.
Very good. So that's your
As
game of
for
the week. And what about your
yeah,
coach of the week?
coach of the week, let's give it to Scott, as he's hopefully kind of over his hump with sort of the vampires, and it'd be interesting to see if he kind of locks in and takes it through now.
Very good. And any player who deserves a bounty?
I think Eddard Stark has lived far too long. Definitely past season 1 now. So Andy's Dwarf Blitzer.
I think he has been mentioned a few times already on previous roundups. For me, just to finish off the game of the week, I'm actually going to go with Andy and Leanne. Sorry, not Andy and Leanne, Graham and Leanne. Really for 2 reasons. One, Leanne following up that great win, and Graham coming back after that bash experience with elves against the dwarves as well. So I think to get back onto an even keel and to get that point in the bag, I think fantastic results from both coach of the week. I'm going to go, because he's not here, Mr. Tom Hobble. Did very, very well indeed, as Mr. Coe said. Really playing it very restrained and very managed this match and this season as well. Player of the week who deserves a bounty. I've just noticed as well, I couldn't remember the name, but it is the Evie Scroll Singer, who is the thrower for the Tomb Kings. Yeah, too much skills now with another leader skill on there as well. So there is one Tomb King who deserves to be returned to the dust. That's it for your Monday night roundup. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much, Luke. I've been Scott, not that one. This has been your A&DBBL Monday night roundup. We'll see you all again next week. Happy Blood Bowl.